The penguin covered itself in ketchup. Then, it cracked an egg on its head. It was pretending to be the scene of a car accident. The driver got out, looking completely confused. Who would have thought that driving in Africa would lead to running over a penguin from Antarctica? As curious passengers rushed to get out and take photos, 3 other penguins quietly slipped into the human's car using the principle of leverage. While the humans were performing CPR on the penguin, they didn't notice the car starting to move. In the end, the penguins stole the car, leaving the passengers completely bewildered. It turned out the penguins were stealing the car to fix their airplane and to bring the animals back to the New York Zoo. The pilot was preparing for takeoff. The plane sped down the runway, then crashed into the forest. But the next moment, the plane miraculously took off. The repair crew started cheering. The plane flew through the clouds for a while, but soon, the warning lights inside the cabin started flashing. This made the lead penguin very angry. He grabbed the airplane manual and started hitting the warning light, perfectly solving the problem. However, the engine soon stopped working. The penguins quickly sat down and fastened their seatbelts. The lead penguin covered his girlfriend's eyes. The pilot said there was both good news and bad news to announce. The good news was that the plane was about to land. The bad news was that it would be an emergency landing. Without power, the plane began to plummet rapidly. The animals inside screamed in terror, each one mumbling their last words. Just as the plane was about to crash, the lead penguin quickly took charge of the emergency landing. The plane skidded across the ground, almost touching it. During the landing, the wings and tail broke off entirely. The cabin instantly turned into a luxury convertible. In this critical moment, the penguins activated the final protection system. The plane gently touched down on the ground. The animals were trembling with fear. Although the plane was destroyed, the animals didn't give up. On the way back to New York, the lead penguin confidently said, "If you give us 6 months, we'll have the plane fixed." This was a task only penguins could do. Meanwhile, the other animals wandered aimlessly, arguing non-stop. Suddenly, a tour bus stopped behind a lion. Tourists took out their cameras to snap photos, then hurried off to the next sightseeing spot. The lion quickly chased after them, hoping to get help from the humans. It turned out these tourists were from New York. The lion pulled an elderly woman out of the car, and they began to fight. In the midst of the struggle, the elderly woman used her special move, and the lion was defeated again. Just as the elderly woman was about to leave, the penguins arrived right on time and stole the tourists' car. Now, without their car, the tourists had to camp out in the wild. By evening, the elderly woman and the others met more tourists and started complaining about how they had been tricked by penguins on the African savannah. This group of tourists from New York had no idea how to survive. While everyone was discussing strategies, the elderly woman lit a bonfire. The tourists quickly gathered around to set up a temporary camp. The penguins had collected enough cars and now had enough parts to fix the plane. But since penguins have no fingers, using the tools was a huge challenge. To gather enough manpower, the 2 monkeys who had been helping the penguins called in a large group of monkeys to help out.